All right. Welcome to Midnight Cuddle Club number 9. It's been a little while. Last episode was, I believe, the Get Up Hero episode. So I don't even remember my spiel. My spiel was that it is some temperature in some country I'm not in, and Gwei is tracking at some level that I'm not paying attention to.
You're
right
not
now.
prepared.
I just remembered that as we clicked on the camera. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I don't have my spiel prepared. That's okay because we chose a great week to actually start this up again because interestingly enough, all of the DAOs I'm operating in are taking an off week. So like we're gonna start it up when everybody else is about to take a break. But that's how we roll. Against the grain.
That's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Rolling against the grain.
Isn't it always against the grain? Yeah, you ever pet a fish backwards? It's like that.
I've never pet a fish.
Have you ever pet a fish backwards? I'm sure you have, Brian. I mean, usually you pet a fish backwards with a knife.
Alive or dead?
Scaling.
I'm not sure
It's not a vegan activity.
I'm not sure the fish would appreciate it either.
No, I mean I had to do that as a kid one time.
What kind of weird punishment is that?
It wasn't a punishment. This was fun. What are you talking about?
What did you do?
Well, I've told you this. Like part of the I love cooking, but I don't like getting gross.
You know,
like I hate oily stuff and and then I remember a lot of the time in kitchens I would get I don't know, it just seemed like there was a lot of seasoning in the air and it would get around my eyes a lot. So I've always felt like I had white pepper in my eyes, particularly white pepper because it's so fine. It's so yeah, we're doing a new AV setup too. It's kind of interesting. Typically the way we do this is Gerlene's channel is open, as you can see. And we have another computer recording the entire Discord call as you are witnessing it. We do that with a QuickTime screen capture. And so everybody's audio basically comes out the same. And in the past, I've used a lot of microphones to have a backup audio track. And I don't think we've ever had an issue with the audio. My luck, I'm going to screw it up this time. But no, but to do a new process, because I've been experimenting with some other things for some other projects I'm doing with some DAOs. I won't get into the details, but I'm doing some DAO podcast project stuff. And so I've been experimenting a lot with OBS. So I'm actually streaming this one to Twitch at the same time, and I'm recording through OBS to see how that's going to work out. So we have a little bit of a different process going on today. That's actually kind of the reason we fell off with Midnight Cuddle Club for a little while, because I was having a lot of problems with things I wanted to do. My computer was an older OS at the time, so I had to update the OS, and then that caused problems with all my old stuff. So now Ableton no longer plays video on the new OS that I'm using. I think it's Big Sur is what I'm on now. But Ableton no longer allows me to do video. My Final Cut version won't work on this. I think even my Photoshop versions won't work on this computer. So on this OS. So if I want to do all those things, I have to. Luckily, I backed up my other computer onto a solid state hard drive. So if I want to use those platforms as I was using them previously, I have to log in from the solid state back on my old computer. But the reason I even upgraded was because Twitch didn't work on my old OS. So I wanted to start doing Twitch stuff. So, I add one thing and 3 other things drop off. It's terrible. But I'm working it all out, and that kind of is why I dropped off for a little bit, because all these technical difficulties, and then obviously, busy doing DJing shit. I'm trying to play Aavegotchis and do all this Web3 stuff, and I've been a lot more active in DAOs this last few months. So I kind of just redirected my energies elsewhere and dropped off a little bit with doing this, but we are back, and we are gonna keep it rolling. I don't know. Are we doing this next week with Christmas and everything, or
Maybe. I mean, I don't do anything. It's up to you.
yeah?
You're the one who has activities.
I mean, I'm planning to be at my normal DAO meetings next week anyway, because next week is kind of a bye week, and I think some guilds and groups are doing things, and others are just acting like it's all normal. So I'm planning to just make my normal meetings. I don't, I need to stay on top of things. Taking the week off won't really matter to me. Although I am going to take this time to quickly start working on this new podcast, YouTube, whatever thing that we're going to be doing. I'm excited about that. Jairus is kicking ass, man. Yeah, well,
Yes, sir.
let's just get in there.
What's up, bro? I'm excited about getting Fifi wrong on the show.
Yeah. I just started checking her out when you told me about it, and I'm really excited to see. Like, I just jumped in that Twitter Spaces this morning. I just saw it was going on, and I was like, "Oh, let me check this out." And I also saw, like, on her Linktree or whatever, like, she's got a whole calendar of like every music NFT Twitter space that's going on 24/7. I'm like, holy crap, she's on it.
Yeah, she's really on it. Yeah, I was excited to see you in there too. I wasn't expecting to see you in there. That was cool. So you got to hear everything. You got to hear it live that she was gonna be on the show. That was dope.
Yeah, shocked. I was like, oh man, this dude's on it. That's awesome, man. I'm excited. It's cool. I like having that what's the word I'm looking for? Accountability. I like it, I like, knowing that someone else is doing what they're doing, so I gotta be doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, if I say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it.
Nice.
I'm saying,
Yeah, I've been having. That's kind of it's a cool thing about DAOs. Like, we're doing this whole new experimental thing with trying to, like, really do kind of a new take on worker co-ops, and it's never really been done on a large scale the way we're doing with DAOs. So you do have those same situations, though, where sometimes it's really easy to get things done, and then other times you're like pulling teeth to get anything done because nobody wants to do whatever it is.
Yeah, I had that experience when I like try to hire friends when I was doing when I was doing my own clothing line and stuff like that, and I had to like rely on people I went to school with. Yeah, that was a bad experience.
Yeah.
You had a clothing line?
Yeah, I had a clothing line. You could check it out on Instagram. Like, I made my own pattern. I tokenized the pattern, but I don't do the I don't spend time making clothes anymore. But yeah, it was a streetwear brand. Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't even get into telling you this last night because I knew you were going to come out here, but Gerlena's a designer.
Oh, she do fashion?
Yeah, that's what I went to school for, is fashion design, and then I ended up in illustration, and then now I'm doing animation. But I recently started getting back into design and constructing clothes and stuff.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, that's dope. I would like to see some of your designs. You could check mine out though on Instagram. It's called Take Money Club. Everything's spelled regular. Take Money Club.
Oh, can you put it in the chat?
Yeah, drop it in the chat.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
drop it in the chat or the social media drop or both or whatever. Yeah, earlier today I deleted a bunch of channels. Originally there was channels for like every platform for people to be able to drop links of their work, but I was like, you know what, let me just consolidate this all down to one channel and just people can show whatever they want to. If you got an NFT, you got a YouTube channel, you got a blog, a mirror, whatever. Just drop it all in one space.
Yeah, I just dropped
So
it.
this is a bit weird. On your computer, on the QuickTime computer, our picture has disappeared, but we're still on Twitch and we're still on my computer, so I don't know what's going on with her computer. This is the joys of being the AV person and being on screen. So yeah,
I think it's going to be really interesting to see how designers and how fashion translates into this space. Like what you said, how you tokenize the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
really
that's
interesting.
something. Thanks. Yeah, I was inspired by Bape. You know, a bathing ape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was inspired by that like colorful camo pattern. So I did a take on that, but with paisley. I did my own like type of paisley print, but inspired by bathing ape. I did that in like 2019.
Oh, cool.
nice. So you were really ahead of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't
Nice.
tokenize it in 2019 though. I like gave up on it in 2020, and then I decided, I shouldn't just let it go to waste. So I said I'm just gonna at least tokenize it.
So what do you mean when you say you guys the pattern? Is that so that anybody can?
Yeah, anybody could own it. It's on OpenSea.
Oh, that's fair.
I got
Yeah, put that in the link. I want to
six
see it.
What just happened?
and now it's all black. The video.
Yeah,
You
that's
can,
weird. My camera like turned off. Um, maybe I'm taxing it too much doing all this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. It's all an
you
experiment on this end.
you streaming on Twitch? You said too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, like I had to
this
cut
is
my PS4 off because your video, well, the audio of your video was cutting off because I guess I was using too much bandwidth.
ah.
So I couldn't stream on PS4 and be on Discord at the same time.
That's what it could be too, because we got 3 computers on the internet right now. So I'm actually watching the Twitch stream. I guess I could turn that off because we really don't need to be watching it.
Mhm.
I just
Yeah,
wanted to make sure it was working.
these are my NFTs right here.
Let me see if I can jump into the chat to see that.
Here, I can open it up on this one.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then just paste it
Um,
like this so you could like click the link for Instagram. Yeah, that font I was telling you about, that shit. Oh yeah, I think you can see it in there. I put the font on Rarible, but I still think you can see it on my OpenSea.
now I'm remembering another reason I updated my OS, because this other computer has the old OS, and for some reason Chrome started flagging every Web3 site as unsafe and not letting you get on it.
Yeah, I experienced that with Aavegotchis. It flagged Aavegotchis as unsafe.
That's crazy, man. Like, and
Yeah.
this old computer's doing it right now, so I had to open up Firefox instead. And yeah,
Yeah, I had to
even
use. Huh?
Brave was doing it. So
You say even Brave was doing it too?
yeah, I was having the same reaction because it's a Chromium-based browser.
Yeah. Wow. Maybe you need like DuckDuckGo or something like that.
No, I just updated the computer and now everything's working fine.
Or
But this
Tor
old,
browsers.
yeah, I think it was just because my OS at the time was like 10.11, which is like that's way
Mhm.
old. I
Yeah.
didn't want to update for exactly the reasons of what happened. You know, I'm like, as soon as
Hmm.
you update, well, which piece of my music hardware is not going to work anymore?
Yeah. You telling the truth.
And that's what happened.
Hmm.
This page does not want to load on me.
Are you getting into fashion NFTs too? What's the name of the What's your name? The girl that's with what's your name?
My
What's
name
your
is
name?
I'm Gerline.
Say that again.
Gerline.
Caroline.
Gerline with a
Oh,
G.
Gerline. Oh, I got you,
Yeah, there
Gerline.
you go. You got it.
So, are you into like tokenizing your fashion designs?
No, I haven't gotten into that, but I feel like that's the next step, isn't it?
Yeah, I
Like,
think so. You could put like QR codes on the clothes. You
uh-huh.
could even do 3D clothes too. You ever
Right.
heard of CL Clo 3D? That software?
No, what is that?
So you can make 3D clothes. They almost look real. Like you could make a realistic render on
Uh-huh.
Clo 3D, and then you got this site called DressX, and they're selling digital fashion NFTs. But the
For
only
what? Like,
thing, huh?
I guess the thing is for who though? Like, is it actual? So you
Yeah,
just have this NFT of a 3D dress or
yeah,
like
and
a
you could
pant?
and you could wear it. Like what they you submit your picture to DressX, and then like in like 1 to 3 days they give you a picture back of you wearing the item. But I had this idea. There's the I mean I wasn't gonna implement it now because like I'm not focused on fashion. I'm more focused on trading right now. But it's something you can implement. You could try it, especially since you're doing fashion. It's this site called Zkit where you can allow people to it's like a virtual try on. So people could try on JPEG clothes basically in real time. So you
Oh, that's
submit yeah, like you submit a picture of yourself and then the artificial intelligence places the clothes on you automatically.
oh cool. Put that in the link too. All of this stuff, just put it
You
in the link
know,
because it's
I
put
got
it in
you.
the chat. Yeah.
I think that's something like Lisa did some stuff. She's got a little like drop on Instagram. Like, the girl I've collaborated with
Hmm.
from Seattle. She's got a clothing drop, and it's got a bunch of clothes on models and stuff. And I was like, how did they get all these pictures? And that must be the same thing, like what you're talking about with the AI puts the clothes on whoever.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah,
was like, man, this looks crazy. How did they get this?
Oh, cool. You
yeah,
put it
it's
in
cool.
there.
Yo, artificial intelligence is wild. The type of stuff you could do with it.
It's going to change how people are already not wanting to go into a physical space to try on clothes and be
Hmm.
uncomfortable. So I feel like this is just another step in that direction where people can kind of experiment with different clothes and styles and be
Hmm.
comfortable.
Absolutely. I had this idea. I think it would be cool, like to have a metaverse, but if the metaverse be like a mall experience,
Oh, that's cool.
I think that would be cool. Like you could do virtual try-ons and stuff, and then walk around something that's like a that feels like a simulation of a mall.
I mean, and it's good for designers too because then you have even more people trying on your clothes. Because
Oh,
otherwise,
hmm.
people have to be able to get to your shop or they have to order something online and just hope that it's going to look good on them and they're going to like it. With this, it's you have a worldwide audience that's ready to potentially
Hmm.
buy your designs.
Absolutely, and it's better
Great.
for the environment too. You don't have to
Yeah,
waste, so much materials.
that's true. That's true.
Hmm.
Made to order. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and one other thing that's better, like when I was doing my clothing line, kind of what made me take a break from it was I couldn't rely on all of these Instagram models. Like I relied on Instagram models basically for my content,
Yeah.
and yeah, they would accept the clothes and they would take pictures for me, but I would have to wait a long time to get the content. And then with Instagram, the way the algorithm work with Instagram, you got to be very active to have a successful Instagram. And I had to like I had to basically be creative. I had to be real creative to like keep the posts coming. So I started like I got into like digital fashion sort of like by accident. Well, not by accident, but like by sheer willpower because if somebody wasn't giving me pictures, like giving me content to upload, I would basically go to Photoshop and Photoshop my stuff on people. Like I've done that for I've done that for a few posts. Like I had one
Well,
post.
whatever works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took some of the posts. Some of the posts on my Instagram you could still see that is photoshopped. It's like I think it's
Does
like
it
three
look
of them.
photoshopped or does it look real.
No, they look real. I would say one. I would say like one I could tell, but it's not. It's not a clear tell. I know
Right. You'd
because
have
I
to
did
look
it.
closely.
Yeah, but there's. I
No,
see
it's
now. It's like four. No, about five photoshopped pictures.
okay.
But yeah, if you go
Yeah,
through Instagram, Take Money Club, you'll see it. You'll see all my content there.
I did pull it up here.
it is really interesting because like Balenciaga recently did a completely CG fashion show where I think they used actual models as references, but it was a completely CG fashion show, and
Wow, that's
so
cool.
that was I
But
think it's just
you want to know what else?
everything's
You want to know what else is wild? Since you brought that up, you know that they got. You know how you could do digital clothes, but now they got digital models that look real. You could like. You could use. You ever heard of a software called DAZ 3D or Dazed?
no.
So you could go in there and basically make like photorealistic looking avatars. Like they look, you can make them look damn near real, and then that could
Yeah.
be that could be your model pretty much.
Well, I know that there are Instagram influencers that are completely CG. They're
Yeah, like
not.
Lil Mike Hella, she's like the most popular one.
Yeah. So it's just so interesting that you don't actually
Mhm.
have to be a person anymore in
Nope,
the
and
space.
you can make your model and rent her out, and
Right.
she could be a model for all these different. She could be like your what they call it, like your fashion influencer for all these different brands, a brand ambassador, and it's
Exactly.
somebody you created on your computer. That's wild.
It's so, and then you can make them whatever you want. You can make
Oh,
them look
Hmm.
like whatever you want.
what's
And
that band?
Yeah.
There's a look, the camera cut off again. But no, there's a all right, there's a band. I can't remember what it's called. It's not really a band. I think Yamaha created a fake singer, and now people use that fake singer and go on tour with it. And
Go
it's a
on tour.
Japanese. Yeah, they go on tour with. It's a
It's like a
Japanese band.
hologram or something.
They do like animation and hologram and different things. She does have an official band,
Wow, that's wild.
but I think she's like, it's like any synth package. If you buy her software, she can be a member of your band. There's no copyright saying she can't. Um,
She
so
sings, you
all
said?
kinds of people like make YouTube videos with her and stuff like
does
that.
she play an instrument?
She's just vocals. You literally type the
Oh,
lyrics and she
Whoa,
sings
that's
an
crazy.
animated character.
but then does she sound different for
And
every band, or does she sound exactly the
they
same?
have
So,
different characters, but she's the most famous one.
okay, but then she
So they
sounds the
have
same.
like, yeah, I
So
mean,
you could have all these different people
I think you
writing
can
songs
change
for
her
her.
language though,
Okay,
because she's Japanese, but you can put
right.
her in English or whatever else, I
That's
guess.
interesting.
No, I learned about this when we were at Slam Dance when we stayed. Lauren's husband, Carrie, was telling me about it because he like loves their music or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's like an AI singer, and you type the lyrics, you give it the lyrics, and she
It's
sings.
like karaoke,
And I guess,
Wow.
but
yeah, I guess you can manipulate. I guess you can like change the way she sings if you don't like it. There's probably ways to change it.
And she
But
could do all kind of genres too.
yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I never played with it myself, and I just thought the whole thing was crazy. But and I mean, this is
Yeah.
old, so this isn't even like
right.
I think this software came out in 2014. So
Damn, 2014.
yeah, I think like where it's at now is probably crazy. But
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could remember the damn name.
You should just remember it. We need to just. You
But
can
man, you
remember it and
get your
put it in the
AI
chat.
model, you get your NFT wearable clothing for her, and then you turn her into a pop star
uh,
with your Yamaha AI vocal
Well, this is
software.
just a Black Mirror episode that you've described. It just
yeah,
has to go
No, no,
bad
no.
somehow.
It goes Black Mirror when you put her on Tinder
Oh, God.
and people start dating
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
Oh man.
There are people who would though. There are
Meanwhile, in
people
the metaverse,
I know that's some Ready Player One type of stuff.
Oh man, I cannot remember the name of it. Of course, I'm not gonna remember the name. Oh, drive me nuts. And since I'm doing all this AV stuff, I can't just start Googling it in the middle of the show because I'll just mess everything up.
Well, like I said, you can put it in the chat.
Brian, you haven't figured it out yet? I thought he would have known. I thought Brian would have jumped in and told me. Oh, man. Anyway, we'll move on to something else.
Or we could just spend the rest of the night watching you try to figure it out.
I'll just be like Pee Wee Herman and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Oh. No. Never mind. Bad joke. See, this is when I wish Liquidiate was here. He would have got that in a heartbeat. But it might be too early for him because he's in Japan. I don't know what time is it in Japan right now.
I have no idea.
See, had I done my research for the opening of the show, then I would know the time and temperature in Japan and what Gwei is tracking at.
Well, Gui at 66.
Gas is low.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Yeah, I'm hoping gas stays low for Christmas because I've got some things I want to mint Christmas morning. I got mint passes just waiting to be opened.
Oh, what you gonna mint?
I've got a Habibi mint pass that I've been sitting on.
Mm.
And then actually the other one I don't think is gonna be ready, but I got Ether Brews, that thing I tagged you in earlier.
Yeah.
It's like it's a 3D AR beer can, generative beer can. And it's like fully AR, so you can take pictures of it in the real world. You can like have it, in your buddy's hand or whatever you want to do with it. So that's like a really cool, and then it's just a really cool NFT because of that reason. Like there's not I don't think there's anything else out there that's fully 3D like that and able to be rendered into like a real photo or video. Because it is I think it's a GLT file is the proper like AR 3D version of a PNG basically, where you can put it into a camera.
Yeah, that's cool though. The closest thing I know that's like an AR NFT type of thing, I think it was from Artifact Studios, but you could like try on their sneakers in real time, like the AR sneaker try on thing.
Yeah, see, I think that's a cool thing with fashion is how it's going to cross into the AR world. As far as, I mean, obvious utility would be to you buy a piece of clothing as an NFT. Well, I should also have that. There should also be airdrop versions of the Decentraland version of my shirt and the Sandbox version of my shirt.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That
even an Aavegotchis version of my shirt, like.
Yeah, like
I want everybody to send me my clothes on all my metaverse platforms.
Hell yeah, like that site I was telling you about, Clo 3D. Matter of fact, I should just link it there so I have access to it. But Clo 3D, you can make all of that Decentraland clothes, or you could get Blender and do it on there too, since it's low poly.
I want to start messing with Blender, but I do too much already. I'm so busy.
I feel like if I really got motivated, I could learn in the next 2 weeks and be ready to go for the new year. I don't know. Maybe that's ambitious and maybe that's unrealistic, but I feel like if I really put my mind to it, I could.
Yeah, and it's a lot of tutorials online.
Right.
I think you'll get it. Cause I know Clo 3D is a little bit more difficult because the clothes you make there is actually like realistic. They look realistic. And so it's so much more detail, and you need all of this GPU power to get the full use out of that program. But if you was to use Blender, you shouldn't have no problems with that. It should be easy.
I kind of like the idea of using Blender so that it looks like it's the CG version of it. You know what I mean? I think that has its own that I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, and then you could upload your clothes right into Decentraland too.
Yeah,
That'd be dope. Or Aavegotchis too.
absolutely. I think every designer should be thinking about this.
Yeah, cause yeah, this is the new wave now. This will definitely set you apart.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, and then you go ahead.
well, the fact that you have designer labels already thinking about this.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, Dolce and Gabbana did they did an NFT clothing drop on Polygon.
Yeah.
Um, somebody else, I don't
I feel like a lot of them are just trying it
know.
out, but the ones who are going to really get into it are going to be the smaller design, like
Mhm.
Yeah,
mid-sized independent designers, that kind of stuff. I think they're going to be the ones who are really getting into this to figure out how they can use it.
Mhm. Yeah, now you can't really name too many off top of your head like that. That's even really doing this.
Right.
I mean, there's a brand called Oros Boros. She's supposed to be like,
Ouroboros.
yeah, you heard of that?
As a clothing line, I think I've
Yeah.
seen it maybe in Spaces or something.
Yeah, 'cause I saw she's like popular on Instagram, and she's supposed to be like high end digital fashion. So I was
Okay.
getting into that. Like when I first got into crypto, I was more focused on being a designer. But then once I got into like making money trading, I gave myself that ultimatum and said like I can't really dedicate myself to two things at one time. So I
Right.
picked trading over design. hmm But yeah, but I discovered a lot of stuff in the meantime. So like since you're into fashion, I could like, give you a whole bunch of like links and information, stuff like that.
Absolutely. I would love that.
And yeah, you could link me to your stuff too. I would like to see your designs.
I don't have a lot of my designs online yet. Most of my work that's online is the animation work. The design stuff is stuff
You make your own clothes.
I make my own, and then I do one of pieces. I work with a lot of vintage materials, and that's
That's
kind of
cool. A lot of
my way
rework
of
stuff.
what's that?
So you do like a lot of rework kind of stuff.
Not so much. I just work with textiles. Like I'll take old blankets or piano shawls and
I
large
like.
pieces of fabric and make
Mhm.
things from scratch. And
That's
so
dope. I like stuff like that.
so I've been doing a lot of that, and it's all one of. So
hmm
I have been thinking about how I could make limited editions of certain pieces, but that means I would have to have enough material to be able to make 10 or 20 of a piece. But I wouldn't want to do more than that because that was one of the conflicts I had with fashion was just how wasteful it is and how
Yeah.
kind of mindless consumerism and
hmm
greed. So I didn't want to approach it in a way of like getting something made in China and then bringing it over here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I wanted everything to feel very handmade and
Mm.
custom.
Yeah, I like
So
your integrity.
right,
There's this company in Los Angeles called Kala, and what they provide for you is like you give them a sketch of your design, and they make it physical for you. That's a good platform that you can use too if you want to like outsource some work for like one of one fashion for maybe like certain things you don't have access to.
right.
Like, let's say you wanted to make like some boots or something like that. I don't know, maybe something that you don't really make at home. They could do it for you. I could link you
Oh,
to
that's
that too.
yeah, absolutely. All of this, it's all good. Because I also
That's
work at a fashion school. I'm a fashion illustration instructor, and so a
that's
lot of
dope.
the designers there are launching their own streetwear brands and their own clothing lines. And so I'm sure a lot of this would be useful to them as well.
Absolutely, I got you. I'm getting a link right now.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I think what I was going to say before is also like people are talking about the AR integrations of fashion of people being able to use their phone or if they're using some kind of if we go to like the Google Glass type stuff or whatever type of stuff, if we ever get comfortable with that stuff, then people being able to look at you and see that your clothes are interactive in some way.
Yeah, I see. I know what you're
So
talking about. I seen a post
there's
like
like a
that.
metaverse level of it.
That's cool. I really like that idea because it's almost like there's another element to design. As a designer, it's interesting to me because you have the physical garment, but then you would have the AR part
That
of it.
other layer of
Right.
interactivity.
So
It would almost be like Snapchat filters or whatever,
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
there could be a filter already attached to that garment to where you look a
Yeah, that's
certain
cool.
in the
Yeah.
metaverse.
yeah,
It
I
could,
like
your Spider-Man T-shirt has full Spider-Man functionality in the metaverse.
there's probably already stuff like this that's being worked out. I feel like Disney has the money.
I think, I was thinking about this though, in a lot of ways, like the things that we talk about with the metaverse, things we talk about are way ahead of the technology. They're still trying to work out how to do it transaction, fast and cheap, much less like all this crazy stuff we're talking about. But it is crypto, and I feel like we're meaning it into existence by being like, hey, this is what we want, all right? Like, we want our clothes to go from one place to another. We want our swords and our weapons to change from one game to another. You better make this happen because this is where our imaginations are. So it's not at that point yet, but we're like, no, you better do it.
Yeah, and it's not. Yeah, as long as we have the will for it, it's gonna happen.
Exactly. We're really pushing for it, and I think that's really cool. I think we just have to keep strong and keep pushing for it instead of like giving in to the big wigs when Marvel and Disney come in and try to like co-opt the whole thing.
Yeah, now we gotta be the new big wigs.
Right. Exactly. I mean, it's even like the thing with like Discord and Ubisoft and all of these companies that stood up and said, "Oh, we're going to integrate NFTs or Web3 or crypto," and then their communities had a huge backlash about it, and then they said, "Oh, never mind, we're not going to do that."
But that happened with Ubisoft too.
Yeah, it happened with Ubisoft too. They said they were going to integrate NFTs, and their community flipped out about it.
I was wondering that. I heard about that. I think it was in one of the. I entered another Twitter Spaces with Fifi Wrong later, and somebody was talking about how gamers they hate crypto. Is it because like Jeep getting graphics cards or something? Because all the miners are getting graphics cards. Is that why they hate?
Part of what I heard. We stole Discord from them.
Yeah, that's because at first I thought gamers would be into NFTs when I first got into the space.
That's what I thought. And I guess the point I was getting to is that I feel like people, what we're learning from this is that we're not going to convert Web 2. We just got to build our own shit.
Yeah, I see that too. It's like, I don't get it. It's like if you play Grand Theft Auto, right? And like imagine if you owned your own clothing store within Grand Theft Auto and you're making passive income because people are buying clothes for their created character like online. Why would people be against that?
That's exactly what's already going to be happening in Aavegotchis from like day one when they opened it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
People are able to make whatever dApps they want to some degree on their parcels. So I know like there's one guild who's selling Wagme burgers, and the Wagme burger itself represents a raffle ticket.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
it relates back to an in-game or an out-of-game NFT, but they're making it an in-game dApp where you buy these burgers, and in the game, I guess you're eating a burger, but in reality, you're taking home this raffle ticket NFT, so that the next time Aavegotchis does a raffle, you've got your little ticket.
Really cool.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Oh, I'm glad Aavegotchi. I mean, I brought it up, but I'm glad it came up because one of the last episodes we were talking about Aavegotchi, and you were talking about like killing Aavegotchis,
Yeah.
the most dangerous game with
Yeah.
Aavegotchis. Man, we were in this one amphitheater call. They do their Saturday calls every week, and I think that's what it was. It was one of the Saturday calls, or maybe it was the opening of the land parcel auction #2. But there was somebody talking about that exactly, like people being able to kill other people's Aavegotchis in the
Oh
world,
shit.
and like they haven't figured that out yet. And I'm like, oh hell no, I do not.
Yours would never make it.
Man.
Not only that, but like this thing costs a lot of money, and you're just
Yeah,
gonna
it
come
costs a
along.
lot of money. That's wild.
How would that work? Would it wouldn't liquidate you.
I
If
don't
it died,
know.
it would like
Some people talked about, well, what if if it dies, then what happens is your initial deposit goes away, and now in order to play with your Aavegotchi again, you got to redeposit. But my Aavegotchi, for instance, its initial deposit was $25. I do not want to put $25 in every time some dick in a video game comes along and kills me.
Yeah, nah, that's not
I
cool.
mean, that's worse than a quarter, you know? I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's
know
not cool.
fiat's dirty, but it ain't, it ain't that dirty.
it's just not fair because like there are people who have all this money to be able to spend on this, and there's other people like you who have all these little humble outfits and little hats.
Not to
and
mention, there's Aavegotchis that require you to put in $100.
stuff.
Like, so they're all different. So some of them might want you to put in ETH, and I'm like, come on, I'm gonna waste ETH every time somebody kills my Aavegotchi. All right, we got a dog going crazy, shaking everything. Oh, my camera turned off again. There we go. We're back. We got a dog going crazy in here.
Well, I can't
He's
see
shaking
nothing.
everything.
Blacked out.
But yeah. So I don't like that. I don't like that they would try to kill my Aavegotchi. It's not right.
And
Yeah,
yours
nah,
is
that's
super
not
peaceful,
cool.
too.
Yeah, I've got a
Especially got
non-aggressive
people
Aavegotchi. He's got a -1 aggression. Very
I
peaceful.
still gotta make mine. You said how much it costs to buy an Aavegotchi?
I think the floor price right now. All right, Bob, you gotta go. Go. I think the floor price on the Aavegotchis might be 400 Ghost, and Ghost is at, last I saw, Ghost is at 237.
Yeah.
Don't let him back in. Get him out of here. Walk him.
Oh, so that's like $800.
All right. This dog keeps getting under the table and shaking everything.
I see now. Ghost on KuCoin. Ghost is 240.
Oh yeah. So yeah, 240. I think the floor is at 400 Ghosts right now. So that's a pretty penny.
Entry on Ghost don't look too bad right now. I was waiting for Ghost to go to like 213 because there's a strong support level there. I was thinking about buying in.
Yeah. Ghost, I don't really understand the whole tokenomics of it, but there's like a bonding curve. So I think that's supposed to prevent it from going too high, but it also gives it, I guess, a support level where it can't drop too low either.
You said it can't go too high.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand it, but I think it's one of these things that can't, it can't moon like crazy. Like it's also highly inflationary. Like I think they can just keep printing Ghost.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that part of the tokenomics, but I do know that the market cap is 200 million, and that's that's low. It's under 200 million,
Right. And I think that's part of the reason it being inflationary is not a problem because I think the bonding curve, I have to do more research. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think the bonding curve is basically like there's a certain amount that's locked up for a long period of time. So that's
locked up?
Yeah, I think it's locked up. So, and it comes out over a certain, it's like a bond. So it comes out over a certain period of time. So that gives you a solid support.
Yeah. I could see that giving you a support. Yeah, I had being locked up. I didn't know you said it's hot. They could just keep printing it. It's like it's no max, um, like a max capacity of coins, like a max amount, a total supply. I mean,
I don't know, to be honest.
I'm gonna check that out right now.
Yeah, I
'Cause if
don't
so,
know.
I really think Ghost could 10x. Really,
I wouldn't be surprised on that either. It really just depends on how many people come into the community.
on Coin Market Cap, it says it has a circulating supply of 68 million and a total supply of 70 million. If the total supply is really 70 million, it's almost at total supply already.
But that might be the total supply that's printed.
Oh yeah, I get it, man. And the
I think
market
that
cap
total
165.
supply can keep going up. But like I said, I haven't studied that much into it.
Yeah, I gotta study more now too. The
I know Ghost
information.
is doing. I mean, when I got my Aavegotchi, Ghost was like $2.
Mhm.
So it is slowly going up, and because it went up to 285 during the last land parcel auction, somewhere around there.
Yeah, it wicks, especially on KuCoin, it wicks like crazy. It went to 380 something on 20. Let me tell you right now. The 25th of November it was 380.
25th and was that the sale?
That was on KuCoin though.
That might have been the week before the sale. That was Thanksgiving.
I noticed the wicks on KuCoin is way more aggressive than on like Binance. Yeah, it's a cool project. I like the website. I like the user interface and everything. Really
Yeah, I
cool.
like the music on the website too. I can't help but
Yeah.
dance.
It's the small details like that. It's cool. I like how like when you click on something, like it makes a sound. I like that.
Uh-huh. I'm really excited about the game. I mean, maybe I'm getting my hopes too far up, but I keep envisioning that it's going to be like a mix of like Final Fantasy for Super Nintendo and like A Link to the Past with like World of Warcraft. Like
Mm.
cause with all the like building and stuff like that and the mining.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
So I think that's what I'm feeling like it's going to be because they keep like talking about these RPG elements to it, and like you do have the XP, you have your traits and all that. So there's a lot of RPG elements to it. I mean,
Mhm.
even changing out your clothes, and all that. They're
Yeah,
saying that a lot of the wearables will have utility in the metaverse, in the
yeah.
Gotchiverse.
That's cool too. And the community is really strong. I noticed
Oh
that like
yeah,
the Twitter community is really tight. That
definitely.
was the most engagement I got on a tweet because I only got 75 followers. At the time I made the tweet, I had like 40 something followers. And I made a tweet about Aavegotchis community and it got 65 likes. That was more likes than followers I had at the time when I made it. But the
I made an
engagement was
announcement about the Bankless DAO Aavegotchis Social Club, and that was the most popular tweet I've ever had. And a bunch of people, I mean, I already had a bunch of Aavegotchi people following me because they're just that great a community. But
yeah.
then after that, even more people started following me, like, oh shit, hold up. Bankless DAO and Aavegotchi.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, yeah, really strong community.
Oh yeah, that's a clear indicator that it's gonna moon. I know it's gonna moon. I have a strong feeling that it is.
Yeah.
Gut feelings because the way that it looks on the chart, it looks like it's ready.
Well, the
So
alpha that I know, actually, this isn't real alpha. This is alpha that there's going to be alpha. So tomorrow at 8 a.m., 8 a.m. Eastern Time. No, 8 a.m. Central Time. So 9 a.m. Eastern Time.
mm,
There's an Aavegotchi community call in the Discord channel. and it's an XP event for anybody who has an Aavegotchi, but which they never do XP events at a call. So there's an XP event, and they said that it's an XP event because they want people to show up because it's big alpha getting dropped.
That's
Big
cool.
announcement.
You said it's tomorrow?
Tomorrow. So I'm super excited about that. I'm getting up early to make sure I'm ready for that.
Yeah, I hear that.
I don't know what it's going to, it might be the white paper. Everybody's speculating that it's going to be the white paper for the Gotchiverse. Because supposedly the game opens up in January. Like they were saying by end of year, right at the beginning of the year. So that gives them like less than 2 weeks to get a game shipped.
I'm glad you told me that's some information I didn't know. Thanks.
Yep. So I'm excited because I have 2 parcels. So I'm interested to get in and find out what's good. I mean, that's what's so crazy about this game because we've already had 2 land auctions and you can't even play the game yet. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, all
but
this
the game
money
looks so promising.
I was just saying all this money's been dumped in and it's all just speculation at this point.
Yeah, but the game, it looks really cool though. And it's just the UI alone, you could tell it's gonna be off the chain.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it looks cooler than Axie's Infinity, and Axie Infinity's market cap is like what, 6 billion?
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, and everybody I know about with Axie says it's not even a good game.
It's not, huh?
I don't know.
Let me see Axie's market cap. Their market cap is 5.85 billion. 5.8 billion, roughly 6 billion. So that's basically about a 30. If Aavegotchi was to just have the same market cap as Axie's, that's a 30x.
Yep. Up on Aavegotchi to the moon. Goes to the moon. Yeah, I mean, I definitely am down. I mean, like I've been watching this project since March. Like I learned about Aavegotchi and I started looking at it now, and I think they had already done their first ghost, like their first haunt sale. I don't even remember what they cost back then because at that point my head wasn't really all the way into NFTs. So at the time I was still like $600 JPEG. I don't know.
Now you're like,
I'm like $600 JPEG. That's a bargain, right? That's like, is that on sale? So I don't even remember what they cost back then, but I was just like, they were already on the secondary, and I didn't know anything about it, so I was just paying attention. And then when the second haunt came around and they were releasing new Aavegotchis, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. And they also had the bid to earn model where you like bid, and if you get outbid, you get back your money plus more money.
Oh yeah, I heard of something like that too. It says like with their raffles, everybody wins.
I don't know about with the raffles. I don't know what's up with the raffles, but I know with the auctions, everybody wins.
Oh, the auction. I meant to say the auction.
Yeah. With the auction, everybody wins because I think in the land auction it was different, but saying that Hunt 2 auction, I think if you put in 100 ghosts on a bid, you'd get back 1%. To like it was between 1 and 15% back, depending on if it was the level of risk or something. I don't remember what they called it. There was like a level, but there was a degen level where you could get up to 15%, and people were bidding like crazy on those. And some of those, like, yeah, some people really got wrecked on that auction because some people got wrecked.
Yeah.
But No, but the bid to earn model is really cool because it's really fun because then when you get out, you're like waiting around, waiting for somebody to outbid you. You know, like you hear that noise and you're like, oh man, I lost.
Mm-hmm.
There's some more money in there. Oh,
I can't wait.
yeah, it's
I can't wait
crazy.
to make my own Aavegotchi when I have some like money to throw into that.
Yeah, actually, I don't know what I think the floor on the Aavegotchis is 400, but I think, oh, look, Wally's in the chat. Jump in here. Is he in here? He is in here. What's up, Wally? What was I saying? I don't know. I lost it.
You was talking about the floor price of Aavegotchi. You was talking about the
Oh,
Aavegotchi.
yeah, the portals. You might be able to get a portal cheaper. I don't know what the floor on the portals is.
What exactly is a portal? I heard of that a little bit.
So for the Haunt 2, you weren't actually bidding on Aavegotchis. You were bidding on closed portals. So a closed portal is like a pack of cards, and you open it up. When you open it up, inside there are 10 generated Aavegotchis, like automatically generated, and you have to pick
get a
one.
portal. Oh, that's dope. You get a portal. So, all right. So you said it's like a pack of cards, basically.
Yeah, but you only get to pick one. So
Okay.
you pick your one Aavegotchi, and then the other 9 get erased. They're gone forever.
Oh wow! And you said that's cheaper than just buying the Aavegotchi straight up?
I don't know. It might be. I don't know what the floor is on that.
Okay.
Honestly, it might. I don't know, and it could be that it fluctuates from time to time because if you an Aavegotchi in the bazaar, you know exactly what you're buying. And if you buy a portal, you have no idea what you're buying. A closed portal, you have no idea. And then you can also buy open portals where you can look inside and see what the 10 Aavegotchis are.
Oh, okay.
But the problem with that, which I didn't realize this when I first started playing, but if you open your portal, you can't pet your Aavegotchi until you choose it. So every day that you've opened your portal, your Aavegotchi is losing kinship. So depending on how long that open portal's been sitting on the market, you could have a hurt Aavegotchi who needs all kinds of love.
All right, man. I'm about to go to sleep now. I've been doing this all day.
Yeah, Friday's my busiest day with calls. I've been in so many spaces and calls and whatever, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, that's cool. We'll catch up on some stuff soon. I mean, it's been great. You know, glad to be back on Midnight Cuddle Club. Wally, you got any final thoughts you want to put in there? Wally didn't
He
say
might not
anything.
even be there. So.
Wally's not even there.
No, I'm here. When you're talking about coding, I think you should do some more research into what you want out of it because there's so many factions of it. There's so much to do, and there's so many like stupid. There's so many shitty, stupid libraries where they try to make it easier for you, but they end up making everything more difficult. So
I just want to make generative music. I want to learn to make generative music and generative art with code. So of course I want to do something that's probably extremely hard.
It's getting it out to people without having them steal it. That's the hardest part because then you're talking about data encryption, and I don't even know where to begin with that one.
Yeah,
I mean, hackers would do the best with, you know, presenting that data, but I don't know how to do that. So sorry.
Well, that's cool, man. Well, I'm glad you got to jump in there at the end of the call, and we're gonna pick this up again maybe next week. But if not, we'll definitely be back soon, and we'll be doing more Midnight Cuddle Club. We'll be starting up NF Thesis. I'll have some other panels going that I'll probably tell you about at some point in the future.
All right, cool. That
Thanks,
sounds good.
Wally.
This was fun.
Yeah, thanks, Jairus, for coming out and joining us. Thanks, everybody, for
Thank
being
you.
here.
You're welcome. It was nice meeting you, Gerline.
Yes, nice meeting you too.
All right, bro.
Good
All
job.
right.
All right.
Everyone have a good night. Thank you.
Yeah, have a good night.
You too.